everybody. Welcome back to Transgressive Music. So, looking back at the music and the songs and the tracks I have presented up until now, most of it was actually rather upbeat and sometimes even light-hearted. And that might not have been entirely intentional, but to some extent I probably didn't want to shock anybody right out of the barn. So what about changing that right now and have a look at probably, in my opinion, one of the greatest female vocalists that has ever lived. I'm talking about Diamanda Galas and her 1988 album You Must Be Certain of the Devil, released on Mute Records. Now, to add explanatory adjectives like dark and gloomy to the music of Diamanda Galas is a bit of a tautology, because that is pretty obvious. Everything about her work is walking along the lines of depression, of illness, of human dignity and its loss, and the overall darkness that seems to be an important issue, particularly in a world that is so driven by neon lights and by the illusion of happiness. Now, Diamanda Galas is an American singer, an American composer. Her parents are Egyptian and Greek, while her work is oftentimes dedicated to gospel and early 20th century jazz music. Let's have a look at a song that is in a completely different vibe, a song called Double Barrel Prayer.
Take us away the sins of the world, have mercy upon us and listen to our prayer. Thou who sits at the right hand of the Father, have mercy upon us. For thou art holy, thou only art the Lord, thou only Jesus Christ from on high, with the Holy Ghost and the glory of God the Father.
All these guitars in the background. Yeah, huh. So, did I promise too much? I mean, is this not one of the greatest vocalists that you have ever heard before? Amazing, quite amazing. But when I was like a late teenager, like 18, 19 years old, you could actually hear this song a lot in the kind of clubs I've been roaming. It has always been this kind of a weird paradox that people love to dance to this kind of music. By the way, you don't hear that many songs that have the snare drum beating on 4/8, which gives the song this kind of a strange, uneven groove, and certainly adds to the disturbance and the despair that is at the heart of this music. Oh, by the way, I have a little Diamanda Galas story I could tell you. It's just a minor, microscopic anecdote, but kind of funny. So I was in a concert, in one of her concerts in. Actually, I've seen her live twice, but this was the first time, and it was probably 1992, maybe 93, and this was in Munich, Germany, and well, she was very popular in the underground scene in South Germany, and so basically, of all the people that came into the concert, I probably knew like 2/3 of the people in the audience, all kind of friends and buddies, and the usual crowd, the usual suspects, and my buddy Bill was there. Bill was a guy from America, from New York, that lived in Munich, and he still lives there, I think, and really cool guy, but on that day he came pretty drunk with some of his friends, and he sat right behind me, and this was a very old-fashioned concert hall, kind of baroque, with the seats kind of going pretty steep up. So while he was sitting right behind me, kind of his knees were somewhere around my head. So I remember he was sitting behind me and kind of yapping all the time with his friends, just having a ball. And then the concert started, and Diamanda Galas came on stage, and she only wore a dark skirt. She was completely naked above her waist, covered in blood. How else? And she stepped in front of the microphone, and she had all these effect gadgets in front of her feet, and she started to sing, and she performed this kind of a vocal solo by using all these kind of effect pedals and replicating her voice and creating this kind of a acoustic mayhem. And I remember this happened for like 3 or 4 minutes after the concert started, and then she suddenly stopped, and suddenly I kind of saw her kind of looking straight at me, looking straight in my eyes, which is a rather dangerous experience, as you can imagine, particularly because she was still standing there nude and covered in blood. And yeah, because Bill behind me was yapping all the time, and she could hear it on the stage because this was a rather intimate setting, and because the seating was going kind of up, we were kind of the same eye line, the place where we were sitting. So she suddenly stopped, and she started to talk to us, kind of like, if you have something to say, you can come up on the stage so I can mess you up. So I was like, here, that's I not me. I would never dare. I heard Bill behind me saying like, whoa, she talking about me? She talking to me? So she was like, hey, you motherfucker, you wanna come here so I can mess you up? And then she continued, and for the rest of the concert I was thinking, I really hope she did realize that it was not me. So that's my little Diamanda Galas story. Horrible. Yeah. Always trouble with these drunk people. So, oh, by the way, such an irony that Bill opened his own bar in Munich a few years ago. Go figure. So, that was a little excursion into the dark world of Diamanda Galas, an artist exploring the less popular corners of the human soul. And I hope this was somewhat interesting for you. So let me know how you liked it and what your impression was, if this was the first time you have heard this particular track. And just put it down in the comments. I am certainly curious to know. So I wish you a nice day. I hope we'll meet right here the next time, and see you.